The great Dan Mangan has a new album on the way. The two-time Juno winner is back with a return to his folk roots that brings out, I'm going to say, tenderness, a little bit existential, a lot of wit as well. And again, some discussion about an uncertain future. Again, don't worry. There's some joy and humor in there too. The new album is called Natural Light. It's out May 16th. And joining me in the studio, Dan Mangan's back.
So good to be back. Hi, Lana.
Hi. I mean, with every new album, I feel like there's a new Dan.
A little bit, yeah.
I don't know if I nailed it, but when I was listening, I was like, okay, you really cover a lot of heft, but there is that kind of wittiness and humor in there as well, with a little bit of levity.
I think the basis of the record is sort of like, yeah, everything's screwed. We're screwed. We're screwed for sure. But I love you, and let's crack some jokes. And I mean, it's not even a cracky joke. It's like, oh, we're dying. You know, it's like, I don't know. But there's definitely humor in it, and there's a lot of, I think that there's just a lot of like, I love you, and it's okay to say that out loud.
Mm-hmm. Now, sonically, obviously, there's an evolution every time. This one, how did you kind of come back to what I would say feels like a return to your folk roots?
Well, it's interesting. So I've played with the same band since 2018, but we had never made a record together. The last couple of records I've made in the States with American producers and American musicians. And we didn't even go, we went to Jason's cabin, and we didn't even go intending to like make a record. We brought some microphones. We thought we'd do some demoing or whatever, maybe write some songs. And then just before we got there, I'd written this song called It Might Be Raining, which is this very sentimental song for my two sons and as they approach their adolescence. And it's like, oh, I want to show you this song I just wrote. And we did like 3 quick takes, and it was like, bam, that song's done. Like we captured this like lightning in a bottle kind of thing, and we were all really excited. And then the next morning, we spent like, an hour or two messing around trying to write something new. And then I was like, guys, I've got like 12 other songs up my sleeve. Do you want to just hear them? And so it was just like this unraveling, like a snowball effect of momentum. And it was so exciting. So anyways, just the nature of being made in a cabin with the same instruments and the same band and the same feelings over the course of 6 days. We recorded 13 songs in 6 days. And so I think that just by nature of that, there was like a kind of a classic timelessness to it. It's a lot of guitars, a lot of analog synths, and just a lot of shared creativity for people, sort of locked away with really bad internet.
It's kind of helpful sometimes, right?
It was crucial, honestly. Like, I'd put my phone down for like a week and just sat around playing music with my best buds. It was an incredible time. And it's interesting because like now I'm going and talking about it on the radio, and it's coming out, and there's this element of like it's a product now, for the and I understand that that's like a really integral part of putting out music. You have to market it, and I don't know how it'll be perceived or not perceived, but I just know that like for me the act of making this record was like without a doubt the most fulfilling thing I've ever done. Like with the exception of having kids and. But like in my creative world, I've never felt so at peace and fearless and just perfectly content in that space.
Is there something to do with taking, not technology, but, getting away and being in that cabin in the woods and unplugging a bit? Is there something about kind of a reset creatively?
I think so. Yeah. I mean, I don't know if it's like the end of an era or the beginning of a different era.
Okay.
There was a cleaning of the plate. Like a lot of these songs had been sitting in my mind for like 5-6 years. Like, a lot of them had been written for a while. And, the songs that I tried to put on earlier records and it just didn't make sense or whatever. And so at the end of this session, like I remember, texting my wife and being like, if an asteroid hits the cabin tonight, send this MP3 to the world kind of thing. It was sort of like the end of a lot of thinking, the end of a lot of feeling that all got put into these songs with this band, with these guys in this moment. And the serendipity was just unbelievable. And I approach it with so much gratitude because I just, I don't know. I don't know if every person gets to experience that in a lifetime. It was a really miraculous time. And there's, people who've heard the record in an early sense have sort of said, yeah, there's a little bit of nice, very nice in there. It sort of is a return to where I started from, but it certainly feels now at the same time. And it feels like that was almost 20 years ago that I recorded that record, which is crazy. So, I feel like I'm a different person. I'm a better person, actually, if I'm being frank about it. And I'm just in a really settled spot, and I don't know what happens next. There's a slight terror in me of like I don't have a bunch more songs. I don't know what the next thing is going to be, and maybe there's going to be nothing for a while. But this feels like the clearing of the plate, the clearing of the throat, and getting out of me what has been in there for a while.
That sounds refreshing.
Yeah, and I guess that's I don't feel there's a terror in me, but I don't feel that scared. I'm sort of just like, part of the reason why this record was so special to make was because I stopped worrying about what a thing was going to be or do, and I just was like living inside of it. And so I'm trying to thrive in that energy and just like, not worry about what's happening or what's going to happen with it or with my career, with my life, whatever, and just trying to enjoy the process.
I wanted to ask, because you brought up texting your wife if an asteroid hits the Earth, make sure this or whatever hits us, send this song out. What was that song?
Well, it was so cool. So in 6 days we had 13 songs recorded. We had a sequence. We had an album cover. We had a title. We ended up changing the title later, but it was almost like we at the end of it we kind of felt like we'd made rumors. It was like this. Oh, we made a classic record, and
except there was no interband drama.
No,
there
was like way less drugs and way less sex. Yeah. But we made a sequence of like just one 46-minute MP3 basically of just like a rough sequence of how we pictured the album would happen. And we sat, and I'm from BC, so in BC people don't really play euchre. It's like an Ontario thing. But the guys taught me how to play euchre, and we were having the best time. They were playing like what's the game where you flick the coin things into the middle? I don't know.
Oh, I don't know that one.
Anyways, and we're just like playing these games, sitting around the table, and we're listening. And like by the end of it, like we were kind of in tears. Like we were just like, what just happened? Like, and again, it was sort of like an alien invasion or divine intervention. It was just like this thing that occurred, and we all kind of woke up from it, and like it was almost like you blacked out and had this crazy experience. So. I feel like I'm overselling it in every possible way, but it was really, really magical.
No, I feel like it's important also as an artist who's been at it for 20 years to, again, I don't make music, but I can only imagine, especially because you are in this momentum machine, that perhaps something that's incredibly refreshing is kind of a game changer.
I think you're really touching on something there. Because my career has been a roller coaster. It's been up and down. I've had the benefit of the doubt from the industry. I've had my face on the front of papers and stuff, and I've also felt the sting of like not having that and the kind of whiplash between those two things, and I feel like that's partly where my gratitude comes from here, is that after 20 years of doing this, 7th record, that I could have such a beautiful experience that wasn't, I have a mortgage to pay, there's a lot tied into having a career that is business and that is scary, and the music industry is like has a 5-second, attention span. How viral are you going in this moment? Everything is so moment to moment, and to do something that is like actively kind of slow in a way and patient is really the antithesis of that. And I think that after all this time, to have this kind of experience making this kind of record, it didn't have to happen. Like it could have gone another way. I could have, I could be doing a regular desk job at this point. And I think that's, for me, like the heart of the gratitude is just going like, oh, thank you, universe, for giving me this one special kick at the can here. Well,
I wanted to bring up, it's been called in press, Campfire Songs for a World on Fire, which again, within the overwhelm, still a little wit in there, or a lot.
Yeah.
But I was thinking about going back to, for example, Troubled Mind, was when I think about you have always had a lot to say, but when it started to be a bit more environmental, a bit more about the future, maybe it was when you had kids, but you still had like a really happy, upbeat tempo, kind of juxtaposing a bit more intensity. And when it comes to that sonic balance, when it comes to these songs, which are again a bit more stripped down, did you find yourself wanting to lean more on lyrics, or what did you? Or was it necessary?
Well, these lyrics are really in me. Like I didn't look at my phone once when we were recording. I didn't have like a lyric sheet pad in front of me. Like I knew the songs. I knew the nuance of how I wanted to deliver every consonant, because I'd been like humming it in the shower for years. A lot of these songs were old. and it's sort of been living in me. So I think that there was a culmination of like a lot of hard-earned, long time muscle memory work, maturity that was there. And then the execution of it was rapid and easy and joyful and flow. And I think that, also like the guys like Mike O'Brien, Jason Haberman, Don Kerr, this is the band, they naturally make joyful music. And I naturally make melancholy music. And so when you put those things together, like they brought out of me, all of a sudden as we were playing them, the joyfulness in the music, I could hear the lyrics that I intended to be funny, actually being funny because of, you know what I mean? It was like they brought out more humor in the lyrics. And I've always had a bit of that sort of sardonic, we're all going down kind of wit to me a little bit. Like that's part of my lyrical view or whatever. But I think that they managed to pull something out of these songs that I could have never done on my own. And for that, I'm so thankful.
Now, did you record live off the floor, or are we still tracking?
Oh yeah, like sometimes we weren't even wearing headphones. Like it was just like the four of us in a room, press record, see what happens.
Oh, nice.
A lot of these songs is like one vocal take, like live off the floor. Yeah, it was very old school, and I think that that's kind of why at the end we were like, God, we just made Rumors. Like it feels kind of classic record in that way, and between us there's a century of recording experience, and we're not new to this, and it was so sort of serendipitous. We didn't talk about like guitar hooks. We didn't talk about like melodies during the instrumental breaks. We didn't talk about the radio. We didn't talk about anything. We talked about like just what felt good. And honestly, like in a week of being there and playing, like I don't think I said to Jason, the bass player, one time, like, hey, maybe you should do something different. Like it was just like whatever happened in the take, that's what's on the record. And I think because none of it was it wasn't overcooked. We didn't think about it too much. We just like allowed, the thing that was in us to come out, and it just happened. I feel like I just am rambling about how great it is or something, but I hope that it doesn't. Like I am just so excited about the process of it. I was just editing together like a little teaser trailer that I'm going to put out this week on socials, and I swear I was like, it's got these really quick cuts to a really emotional moment in the record. And I just like, as I was saying, I just kind of like put my hands on the table and I was kind of like, I didn't cry, but I got a little moist in the eyes. You know what I mean? Like, and it just is such a special thing. It's like going to summer camp and, making best buds kind of thing.
I love that. I think there's, something very serendipitous about the way you've all worked together. And also everyone's a producer on the record as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Which I think is very, very cool.
Yeah, we're all credited as producers. Yep. Jason engineered it. Jason mixed it. But, like the way we kept kind of like in theory going, like I was booked in LA later last summer to make a record. And then I just canceled those dates because we ended up making it by accident. And then we were going to send it away we sent it to two American, like really well-known, really amazing, talented mixing engineers. And they did great work. And then it came back, but then Jason just sort of like, well, I'll have a kick at it. And then Jason's mix was just like perfect. And because he was already so familiar with it. And then we sent it away to a mastering engineer in Paris. And like we kept reaching outside of the family and then coming back right to the family. And in the end, our friend Gavin down the road at All Day Coconut, Gavin Gardner mastered it. Like it was just like we kept going out of the family thinking, oh, we should get someone special or better than us or, more realized in the world or cooler to do it. And then just coming back, no, actually we should just do this ourselves. So it was all very like insular.
There's no place like home.
No place like home.
I want to ask you about which song has been the most, as you gear up, this is like the Dan Takes Over Toronto week. There's the secret pop-up show that's not so secret, but that's happening, the show at Sonic Boom.
Yeah.
Release day, 6 p.m., by the way, you're all invited. And again, there is that show at the Danforth in October, which I feel like was now sold out. Dan Mangan at the Danforth. I feel like that's your home in Toronto.
I love that venue.
It's a solid venue.
The Vogue in Vancouver and the Danforth in Toronto, those are like my two favorite venues because they're standing up front and seated at the back. So they have the like reverence of a theater and people tend to kind of like be quiet and listen. But then at the front, there's all this energy because people are standing and they can hold a drink in their hand. And it's like, you kind of get the best of both worlds. You know what I mean? It's not like a lame bar scene, but it's also not like a kind of clinical theater scene. So that's my favorite.
As a concert goer. I love the sight lines as well. Like I have my spot.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like I have my Danforth spot. I'm always in my zone.
Because of the floor is like a little raked. Sometimes like your heels hurt a little bit at the end of the day. You're kind of like your ankles or whatever. Yeah.
Okay, so which song? I know that you're a busy man here in Toronto this week, but we're so happy that you're here for release week as well.
Yeah, it was fun to be here for the week to celebrate with the band because they all live in Toronto. No, I'm in Vancouver. And it's a busy week, lots of promo stuff bouncing around from microphone to microphone. But I'm really just thankful and excited to be active at 42 years old and still kicking,
Totally. Well, when it comes to performing, I love the fact, again, sometimes albums, aren't people have to teach themselves how to play them live after they finally have, mixed and mastered. But for this one, I mean, is there a song that is that joyous one that you have that simpatico with the band already that you're looking forward to really playing? You know what?
When we recorded the song Cut the Brakes, it was like we had really locked into a crazy flow. And I think we did like 2 takes of that song and we were like, done, cut, finished, we added a few shakers and stuff overdub. But like that one, I think going into it, I had the least expectations for that song because it was like, it's very repetitive, instrumentally and stuff. And I didn't really know how it would turn out or if it would be good or whatever. And it went from being like a total underdog to like, whoa, maybe this is like the most like summer jam bopping song on the whole record kind of thing. And so that surprise element was really exciting. I can't wait to play that with the guys.
Amazing. Well, we look forward to seeing you again in the fall and this week around town. And thanks again. Congratulations in advance.
Thank you so much, Lana. Big release Friday.
Natural Light Friday.
Everyone go listen.
Yes, check it out wherever you listen to your music, and we will be
Sonic Boom 6 o'clock.
6
Friday.
o'clock.
I'll be there with a guitar.
Will you be signing records too?
Of course.
Excellent.
Absolutely.
Cool. Well, thank you so much, Dan, and congrats in advance.
Thank you so much.
Dan, magically you're back with the guitar and in a different spot.
Amazing, right?
The magic of video.
2025.
Love it. Now, what are you going to play for us today?
I'm going to do a couple songs. I'm going to do a melody, and I was thinking I'd do a cheeky little song called For Him. Melody chose me, and then melody changed her mind. I should be over it now, but I ain't over it now. That's why I'd rather be lonely than be somebody's wasted time. I should be over it now, but I ain't over it now. They always gotta go when you want them to stay, so it's better not to love in case it's taken away. It's alright, it's fine, you'll find in time. This is what they say to the ones that stay behind. So melody chose me, and then melody changed her mind. I should be over it now, but I ain't over it now. That's why I'd rather be lonely than be somebody's wasted time. I should be over it now, but I ain't over it now. They always gotta go when you want them to stay, so it's better not to love in case it's taken away. And just when you think you got a foot in the door is a moment, see that she's not there anymore. So why did melody choose me if I'm not the choosing kind? Stop messing with my mind. I have felt what it feels like to be chosen and then unchosen. They always gotta go when you want them to stay, so it's better not to love in case it's taken away. And just when you think you got some skin in the game, and just when you think the tides are turning your way, and just when you think you got a bird in the hand, it's a shakedown, broken to a shell of a man. So why did melody choose me? Oh, why did melody choose me? If I'm not the chosen kind, stop messing with my mind. Yeah, this is for him. He's a vampire, and he won't show you his teeth until it's too late. He'll be on some mountain highway thinking, ain't this great? In some sports car with the top down, that's when he'll eat you. Yes, he will eat you, and gobble up your insides till you're see-through. Shake away whatever grounds beneath you, until life feels like a cage he holds the key to. There's a million reasons you might leave me, I don't have to tell you. A million reasons I can see why you might want to go. It's fine to leave me, just please don't leave me for him. He's a parasite. He'll suck up all the air and make it feel like what's left for you belongs to him. It's not right. Maybe decades down the road you'll come to realize he's carbon dioxide, and I promise you his charms come from the wrong side. Everything I love, this is my insight. Am I reading this all wrong? Am I the bad guy? There's a million reasons you might leave me, I don't have to tell you. A million reasons I can see why you might want to go. It's fine to leave me, just please don't leave me. A million ways I failed to say whatever needed saying. A million ways I understand, but still I need to say it's fine to leave me. Just please don't leave me for him.
Thank you so much.
Welcome, guys. Thank you. Thanks for having me.